Match 22 of the HBL PSL 10 is a huge game for both sides involved. Peshawar Zalmi sit in 5th place in the table, 4 points adrift of a playoff place with just 3 games to go. When they've been good, they've been really good.
You've got a mighty reception now for that 50.
But it just hasn't happened often enough, as they've slumped to 4 defeats from 6 games. Islamabad, on the other hand, suffered their first defeat of the season last time out.
Will that go down Third's throat? That goes down Third's throat. And that'll close the night out with a comprehensive win by the home side.
So they will be determined to reassert their position at the summit as we head to the back end of the group stages. Who will take the points in this massive clash? Islamabad United or Peshawar Zalmi? Beautiful evening here in Gaddafi Stadium, Lahore, as we head into match number 22. And it's Peshawar Zalmi. They are taking on Islamabad United. Hello and welcome on pitch side. Now we've got Islamabad United. They're taking on Peshawar Zalmi. Islamabad United lost their last game, which was can be considered a mere aberration considering they have been the strongest team in the tournament so far, and they're up against Peshawar Zalmi, who definitely are in need of some wins. Remember, they're playing 4 remaining games and they'll be looking to win because they need to be able to get those points to make it into the playoffs as well. So all to play for in this encounter between Islamabad and Peshawar. And to talk us through this entire game, I've got with me on pitch side Waqar Yunus and Martin Guptill. Waqar, from an Islamabad United's perspective, let's talk about them because they've been the strongest team in the tournament so far. They had 1 loss, which was the one that we saw the other day against Lahore. But overall, they're still a very strong team.
Yeah, I mean, winning first 5 games in a row, the confidence they have got from that, I think that will stay there for a long period. Because even if they lose tonight, they only lost 1 game. Even if they lose tonight, it's not going to make any difference because they're still going to be staying at the top. It's the race to stay at the top in the top 2. Not the race is more or less finished from Multan Sultan, and Peshawar Zalmi is on a real thin ice. They have to win this tonight to give themselves a chance and look to win more games and hope that other teams will lose. So there is a lot of complication at this stage. But first of all, I think Zalmi is going to start winning the game. They're too good a side not to win games. They only won 2, but the losses they have faced so far in this tournament, they're big one. They're massive losses. Elaborating
on what Waqar said, I mean, you look at the resources that they have, Peshawar Zalmi, and they've got, you know, players like Babar Azam, Saim Ayub, Mohammad Haris at the top. Even their bowling. I mean, where do you think they've been lacking overall in this HBL PSL?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere at the top of the order, isn't it? They just haven't quite had the runs that they have in previous editions of the tournament. So, you know, but the thing about it is form is temporary, class is permanent. So once they figure it out, runs are going to come.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're talking about them getting some runs at the top as well. So plenty to play for in this one. But, you know, we'll come to Babar Azam and his struggles later on, Waqar, because obviously that's been one of the things that we've spoken about, that his form is lacking. Saim Ayub looks a little rough after that injury that he had.
Although Babar did get runs, it's not that he's totally dry, but Saim Ayub is really dry. He hasn't got any runs, and the more you sort of don't get a start, the team also start, you know, going down, and of course your individual performance and your individual confidence starts sort of shattering.
All right, on that note, we are now ready with the toss. So it's over to Sikandar Bakht, and he's going to be there with the 2 captains.
Welcome to the exchange on toss here with the match 22 of the HBL PSL season 10. The 2 captains are here. Peshawar Zalmi versus Islamabad United. Babar, Shadab and Roshan Mahanama. Our match referee Musa is the exchange on mascot. Babar, you have the coin.
Heads.
Heads is the call. Heads is the call.
It is heads.
It is heads. शादाब क्या करेंगे?
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, बैटिंग करना चाहेंगे।
बैटिंग करेंगे। पिछले मैच में 5 चेंजेस के साथ आ पाए। ऑफ कोर्स कर सकते हैं चेंज बिकॉज टीम के पास काफ़ी पॉइंट्स मौजूद हैं। अब कौन से स्टेज पे है आपकी टीम? एक्सपेरिमेंट्स और करने के लिए तैयार है?
देखिए, हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि जितने भी प्लेयर्स हैं उनको मैच प्रैक्टिस उतनी मिलनी चाहिए, क्योंकि ऑब्वियसली पहले 5 मैचेस में हमारे कुछ ऐसे प्लेयर थे जिन्होंने बहुत सारी दोनों चीज़ों में कुछ नहीं किया, ना बैटिंग आई ना बॉलिंग आई। तो कोशिश कर रहे थे कि उनको जितना ज़्यादा मैच प्रैक्टिस मिले, और क्योंकि हमारे पास ऐसा एक कुशन है कि हम अच्छी पोजीशन में, और ऑब्वियसली अभी भी चीज़ें चल रही हैं। होपफुली एक अच्छा कम्बिनेशन हमारा बन गया।
हवा चल रही है, शायद ड्यू ना आए। बैटिंग पहले करने की खास वजह क्या है? क्योंकि इस पिच पे आधा मैच हुआ है सिर्फ, अभी पता कुछ नहीं है।
देखिए, बिल्कुल 1.5 मैच हो गया, क्योंकि पहला मैच भी कल डे वाला BC भी था, और लास्ट जो कल जो नाइट वाला भी थे हाफ हुआ। तो देखिए, स्टैट्स वाइज तो कह रहे हैं कि बैटिंग फर्स्ट, तो लेट्स सी।
बैटिंग फर्स्ट, तो कितना स्कोर रखेंगे माइंड में अगेंस्ट ये वाली ऑपोजिशन?
देखिए, माइंड में तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। स्कोर कंडीशन को असेस करेंगे, देखते हैं कि कैसी कंडीशन खेलती है, और उसके बाद जितना भी टोटल होगा कोशिश करेंगे। अच्छा,
चेंजेस हैं टीम में?
काफ़ी हैं, 4-5 हैं।
4-5 है, चलिए ठीक है, गुड लक। I'll just translate what Shadab said. Number one, that they can afford to do a bit of experiment because they've got quite a few points already on that table. And then secondly, he's not sure about the exact number of how many runs he wants to put on the board after winning the toss first. They'll only find out once they get in. Babar, happy है पहले बॉलिंग करने में?
टू बी ऑनेस्ट, हमने भी पहले बैटिंग करनी थी, और लेकिन टॉस आपके हाथ में नहीं होता। लेकिन कोशिश हम यही करेंगे कि फर्स्ट 6 ओवर्स जो है काफ़ी क्रूशल है हमारे लिए, क्योंकि प्लान को एग्जीक्यूट करना पड़ता है। हम यही 6 ओवर्स में थोड़ा सी मिस्टेक कर रहे हैं।
मुल्तान ऑलरेडी आउट हो चुका है प्लेऑफ से, आपकी टीम के पास चांसेस हैं अभी भी। ऑफ कोर्स ये एक ऐसा स्टेज है टूर्नामेंट में जहां हार शायद हर्ट करेगी। क्या चेंजेस लाए हैं टीम में जो आपको लगता है कि ये सरफेस पे कारामद होंगे?
बिल्कुल, हमने थोड़ी सी चेंजेस किए हैं। जो बॉलिंग लाइनअप है उसको थोड़ा सा और स्ट्रॉन्ग किया है, और बैटिंग में भी थोड़ी चेंजेस किए हैं बिकॉज ऑफ कम्बिनेशन। बिल्कुल देखें, मैच टू मैच चल रहे हैं। हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि ऑन द डे जो हमारे हाथ में जो चीज़ें हैं उसको हम प्रॉपर तरीके से एग्जीक्यूट करें, और बिलीव रखें कि हम कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि हमारी टीम ऐसी है जिस तरह यंग एंड जूनियर का कम्बिनेशन है। मुझे एज अ पूरा कप्तान उन पर बिलीव है कि हम कर सकते हैं, और जस्ट इन्जॉय योरसेल्फ।
आपने बताया काफ़ी सारे चेंजेस हैं, मैं नाम नहीं पूछूंगा, लेकिन नंबर कितने हैं, कितने चेंजेस हैं?
आई थिंक 3-4 चेंजेस हैं। बिकॉज मैं बता देता हूँ, अली रज़ा की जगह माज आया बिकॉज उसकी थोड़े से निकल हैं। टॉम की जगह मैक्स आया, और दानियल आया, और डेजी आया।
वेल डन, गुड लक टू यू। All right, so both the teams are coming in with 3 to 4 changes, so we'll find that out. But Babar says that we've made changes in our bowling lineup just to make it a little stronger. Very important stage for them as a team because they can't afford to lose any game. So this is how it is, and lesser the better in terms of score, what they want to chase.
Well, interesting decision at the toss because we've seen so far teams opting to bowl first. Islamabad United, they've opted to bat first, Guppy, and they've also made a couple of changes.
Yeah, a few changes here to go through. Kyle Myers comes in for his first game for Islamabad United. A big, powerful all-rounder from the West Indies. Still going with Farhan at the top with him. Colin Munro back into the side. He's been in impressive form. Salman Aliaga there. Azam Khan, Shadab Khan, Imad Wazim. Saad coming in as an emerging player. Ben Dwarsh is still there. Naseem Shah, and rounding it out, Riley Meredith. A bit of extra pace from Australia.
Well, it's an extremely important game for Peshawar Zalmi as well. They have to win to stay in the competition, and they've also gone in with 4 changes.
Yeah, they had a tough tournament so far, so they're searching for the combination. They're searching for a win. Owen's still there, Simon Ayub there, Haris, Hassan Tallat, Bryant, Max Bryant comes in, Mas Sadakat comes in, Ahmed Daniel, I'm really looking forward to see him bowl. Muhammad Ali comes in, Ali Raza is out, so surprising, few surprises, but yeah, they need to start winning.
All right, Islamabad United winning the toss, and they have elected to bat first. Interesting decision overall, but time to find out how these teams have fared in the past against each other. It's time for head-to-head. Islamabad United has been extremely strong in this HBL PSL, and it's been quite close in this rivalry between both these sides. 13 of the 25 matches have been won by Islamabad United, whereas Peshawar Zalmi has got an upper hand in 12. Whereas if you look at the last 3 games, it's been Islamabad United all the way, which is quite indicative of their recent form. All right, lots to discuss in this game between Peshawar Zalmi and Islamabad United. We'll take a short break and see you guys on the other side shortly. Back on pitch side, Islamabad United have won the toss and they have elected to bat first. Now, there's been a lot of conjecture and talk around that hard length in these particular conditions, how it's been helping fast bowlers when they've been able to execute their plans. Is it going to change at all today? Let's find out from Mark Butcher and Dominic Cork with the pitch report.
Another night, another pitch report from Lahore. This pitch should have been used, well, it should be used for the 3rd time today, but of course, last night we had a storm that broke the temperatures that would have made the devils sweat. It has been absolutely roasting in here in Lahore for the last few days, but last night we had high winds, we had a dust storm, then we had torrential rain, and that seems to have just cleaned up the atmosphere a little bit. We're down to a lovely, comfortable 30 degrees, 47% humidity. And this pitch is now, what, a game and a half old. 10 runs and over scored in the first innings on this deck, but there is a little bit in the bowlers for you. Dominic Cork is back, by the way. He's been on golf holiday, but he's back for your delight. Tell us about the pitch.
Oh, well, I've been resting up really nicely at the moment, been watching just how these games have been going, and all the bowlers, you see them now, they're turning up. You've got Glenn Chappell there as bowling coach, and they're looking at this, and when you look down, I know that Uruj did this little box here. It's perfect for all the bowlers to look at here. There is something in it. There is something in it for the bowlers here. It's about back of a length early on in the power play, hit that pitch back of a length, take pace off in the middle, but we saw runs scored yesterday. It looks worse. I think it's going to play well, and it'll be interesting to see if a side gets to 200, can it be chased down?
Spin play any sort of part in the proceedings?
I think it has to. I think because of the cracks that are there, I think also the pace. Remember Nabi yesterday, he's so clever, isn't he, the president, with his pace. I think every bowler's in the game, but ultimately I think when the ball is coming on, you know as a batter, just use the pace and see what you can get.
Yeah, OK. Well, if you hit that length hard with a new ball, there is definitely something there for you. But the batters should enjoy themselves. If they apply themselves, use the full face of the bat.
Use the full face of the bat, Guppy. I mean, that's what we require from Babar Azam and Saim Ayub as well.
Yeah, look, they're class players. They're going through a wee rough patch at the moment. It's not going to last forever. The thing about tournament cricket is you need to figure it out quite quickly, and they haven't been able to do that quite yet. Yes, Baba has had a couple of innings where he's shown some glimpses of how good he can be, but for them, they need them to both fire, and fire quickly, because they've got 4 games. Their backs are against the wall, which can make them quite dangerous as a team. So, and we take a look at the opening stands here from last year, averaging 53.8. I mean, that's a hell of an effort from an opening pair throughout a tournament. This year, averaging 6.33, very much not what they wanted as for 2 of their star players. So they'll be wanting to resurrect that tonight.
All right, that's what we need from Babar Azam, some runs. But why has he been struggling? I mean, that's the golden question for a player like him who's been super talented, struggling against left-arm seamers. Let's find out from Mark Butcher why the struggles have been there.
Thank you, Zainab. Yes, there are very few, if any, as celebrated players in Pakistan cricket, and maybe even world cricket, as Babar Azam. I've noticed over the course of this tournament that he's having a little bit of difficulty against left-arm seam, and that is either with the ball swinging back into him or going across him. He's been out 4 times to such bowlers, either playing away from his body on the offside with the ball that goes across, hanging the bat out there, not really getting his way into the shot when it goes across as well. And then, of course, when the ball is swinging back in, getting that front pad in the way and getting nailed in front. That is a beautiful example of it. Now, as left-handers, we know this problem quite a lot, quite often, because right arm bowlers would traditionally swing the ball back into us left-handers and try and catch us on the pads. Now this is what's happening to Peshawar Zalmi. As far as I can see it, and listen, I'm in no real place to be giving the great man some advice, but it's just something that I have noticed. As he makes his move back and across, this is very uncoordinated because I am left-handed, okay, so just give me a break. Back and across here, when that front foot lands on the ground, the toe is pointing almost towards extra cover, and if you just take a look here at this little clip that we've got, we'll stop the camera, stop the film as the front foot goes down, as the ball's on its way. Just watch where that toe's pointing to there. Okay, almost towards sort of wide mid-off extra cover. Now, why is that a bit of an issue? I'll tell you why. Because if the ball moves either way from there, in order to access the ball, if the ball moves back in front of you with a toe pointing in that direction, you have to straighten the front leg in order to try to get the bat through. Otherwise, the knee being bent, the bat comes down and you'll hit the front of your pad. What happens when you straighten the front leg? Your head starts to disappear over towards extra cover. So just roll on the rest of the clip and we'll see exactly that happening. Peshawar has to straighten the front leg to give a path for his bat to come down. The head moves towards extra cover, falls over, misses the ball, out, LBW. So I noticed this with a partner of mine, a player that scored over 100 first-class hundreds in his career. He was having exactly the same difficulty, the ball swinging back into left-arm seamers. And so what he would do in his stance was just open up his front foot just a tiny bit in the stance, so that when the foot lands, the knee bends a little bit more towards the bowler, and you've automatically got a lovely path for the bat to come through. You don't have to straighten the leg in order to get the bat at it. It also helps when you're playing through the offside and the ball's going across you, because you're more into the ball and the head is more moving in the line of the ball. So there you go. That's a little bit of a tip from somebody that's had that problem himself, falling over the ball, and it might just help Peshawar unlock the problem against Ben Dwarshuis today. That's going to be a key battle.
Well, that was really well explained by Butch there about Babar Azam, but let's go for it. Who's winning today?
Oh, difficult one. Islamabad lost previous game, so I'll back Zalmi tonight.
All right, what about you?
I think I'm going to stick with Islamabad. I think they're just on a bit of a roll. Yes, they lost last game, but they've been the form tournament of the team, so I'm going to stick with them.
All right, that was the expert predictions for you. The crowd is building up here nicely as well. It's Peshawar Zalmi. They're always out there in great numbers as well. Take a short break and see you guys on the other side.